All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy from Gordonette Games. Um, we are playing Mothership tonight by Tuesday Night Games. Uh, we have four players, one who will be back shortly, I imagine. We'll just go ahead and introduce yourself, guys, and introduce your character. Tell us what you look like, who you are, and all that. And we'll start with the person who's far left, and that's Eric.
Okay. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm playing Floyd Sunbeam. He looks like my picture on Google. He's a white guy with big bushy afro. He tries to wear his shades wherever he can, though he's often lifting them because he can't really see inside the ship with the shades on. He's got a sweet faux leather jacket, blue, with a magenta Reaper on the back. And he sometimes talks a little slow like this, and maybe I'll adapt the voice a little, but it's slow, but it's also not necessarily deliberate. And he's the medic of the group, and sometimes he gets a little creepy vibe about him. But you think that's mostly just because he just spends his time watching horror movies, and he's tone deaf. So, he's doing his examinations and he's pointing out things that maybe he shouldn't, like, maybe a little too fat or it's a little loose here. And yeah, that's Floyd, bit of a creepy guy.
Hey, Joseph.
All right. Hi, I'm Joe, keeper of the 1 Foot Wall, teeny tiny YouTube channel. Tonight I am playing Rint, R-I-N-T. He is an android, and he is the ship's communications officer. He does his best to try to fit in among the rest of the humans, even though I am not a human. My primary functions are communications with a secondary function of geology.
Okay.
And that's on you, Vincent, and then we'll get to Brendan when he gets back.
All right, I'm playing Malachi Kamata right here. Teamster, first class. Spunky kid, orange hair. Got a patch on her shoulder that says, I'm not a rocket scientist, but you're an idiot. She doesn't trust androids very much, so she thinks metal is made to be, like smelted and put into ships and things, not to talk. So she can repair just about anything and jury rig almost anything, and she can also grow tomatoes. She knows her hydroponics, and that's about it.
Tomatoes.
We'll see.
No, seriously, tomatoes.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just wait just a second and see if Brendan can jump back in.
Oh, wow. Good timing.
I said just a second, and that's how long I said, literally right before you popped back in, I said, let's wait just a second. So, Brendan, what does your character look like, and who are they?
So Sunny Rat Babble looks like he's probably at least part Pakistani. He is not particularly heavily built, but looks after himself. He's got what would you call probably a bit thicker sort of what I have. And sort of just this mop of dark brown hair. He mostly rocks around in scuffed clothing with a little bit of leather, and he always seems to be slightly dirty, but for some reason manicures underneath his fingernails. Like he's always picking stuff out, but the rest of his hands are always grimy.
All right.
All right. So tonight's adventure starts. And I already gave you the background. You guys are on an exploratory mission to the planet what was it? Let's see, Elysium. And you find yourself in your cryo chamber, just waking. And you guys all kind of lurch towards the glass that's inside the chamber, and it's kind of fogged up, and you can't quite see out or anything like that. But what you can tell is that the ship is shaking, and the lights outside are flickering. And then in the next moment, the doors to the chamber kind of fly open, and you guys fall forward. Tubes and everything like that being ripped out of your body and out of your mouth, onto the floor, kind of like wet and cold. And you look around and you can see, you can feel that the ship is shaking and the lights are flickering. So, like, first off, I guess, what would the android have been doing during cryo?
During cryo, or while everyone was in cryo, I would have been just doing routine system checks to make sure everything was, in tip-top order for when the crew awakened. And actually, right before everything started shuddering, in an act of good faith, he was just making coffee.
It's very thoughtful.
But mostly just maintaining the ship, checking any logging all of his keystrokes to make sure that everything is nice, fit in a square box exactly as protocol determines.
So you wouldn't have been in the area where the cryo chambers were whenever they fly out, right?
Not quite yet. Probably would have been on my way after getting the coffee going, but then ship did the shimmy.
Everybody who fell out of the cryo chamber, make a body save.
Okay, so this is my first time playing, so we just roll the D100 dice and roll under our body statistic, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Big fail.
Failure.
All right, so you guys take 1 stress. Everybody who fails that roll.
Okay.
So as you guys fall out, you notice that Eliza and Captain Elric are also next to you. Captain Elric is an older gentleman with salt and pepper black hair and a scar across his face. Eliza is a redhead who has extremely curly hair and like deep blue eyes. And she also seems to always be kind of dirty and stuff like that. Her hair always seems to be kind of disheveled and everything. And they immediately they don't take any time to try to go put clothes on or anything like that. They run to the bridge. And you hear Captain Elric on his way out say, "There's got to be something wrong. This isn't what's supposed to happen."
All right. Floyd is going to slowly get to his feet and try and get some clothes on. Whatever we threw off before we went into cryo, I guess.
Yeah.
Mala's in her skivvies, but she's actually surprisingly fast. Like, she darts down the hallway at the speed of like an Olympic sprinter, and she's just like, "Do I smell coffee?"
So you head into the galley area, and I'm sure it's on the way towards the bridge, and you find Rent, and he's there making coffee.
She looks at the coffee machine and she looks at Rent and she's like, "No, you're supposed to set it to coarse grind. And then she just pours herself a thing and she just mutters something about androids not, ruining
I'm
everything.
sure it will taste like dirt because it was just ground.
And she groans, and she just tries not to vomit because of the cryo sleep.
I'm
And the
learning humor.
ship lurches as this is all happening, and the lights start to flicker more, and then the alarm system starts to go off.
So what's that? What's that? Why is it ringing? Why is everything? My head. Make it stop.
I'm not sure, but perhaps I should check the computers. All I did was make coffee. I did not realize that it would structurally upset the gravitation of the ship. One moment, and I'm scurrying off to the bridge.
What is Sunny doing?
So Sonny also is quite slow to get out of his cryo chamber. One of the first thing he does is rummage through his belongings or pull out a little case, which he opens up, takes, and puts a bit of balm on his lips. He then slowly gets dressed, figuring he's not really the guy that does anything when the ship starts breaking down. So he's slowly going to get dressed, and he walks over to some sort of reflective surface or mirror and does a whole lot of deal of fixing his hair up to be right, and then messing it up so it looks like he woke up with it.
Sweet. So who all goes to the bridge?
Floyd will eventually join. Again, taking his time, having a similar attitude as Sonny. This is not his area of expertise, so he'll get dressed, put on his jacket, and grab his shades and slowly walk his way to the bridge.
Mala, in the mess, like pours a shot of something alcoholic into her coffee and starts walking towards the brig. And if she sees her toolkit, she'll pick it up on the way over.
So you guys gingerly make your way to the bridge. And when you get to the bridge, on the front view screen, you can see a very purplish reddish planet. And it is getting very large. And you can, you've been on a few space flights before, and you can tell that you are going way too fast to be entering this planet's atmosphere. And Captain Elric is over top of the computers, and he says, "Something's fried the circuits. I don't know what it is, but the whole system's scrambled." And he looks at he starts kind of trying to type on the consoles again, and you can see on the screen that there's not really it's not the normal interface. It's like almost like an MS DOS streaming down the screen. And he looks back at you guys and he says, "The only thing I can tell is that we're not even in the right fucking system."
Fuck.
Now, I don't want to cause undue alarm, but maybe we should not fly towards that, yeah?
I don't think you understand, man. We have no control at this point.
Well, that's strange. I inputted the new coordinates exactly as I was told.
And you guys are still flying towards this thing. And again, it's like this red, rocky, purplish type planet. And you start to enter the atmosphere, and you can feel the ship lurch more as Captain Elric and Eliza are trying to correct the motion of the craft. And you guys get into the atmosphere, and then you make your way, and you can see big mountains and everything like that. You don't see any plant life. You don't see any of that. No lakes or rivers or anything like that. And you finally touch down with a huge violent shudder. The ship shakes. You hear crashing, and you hear the metal starting to kind of scrape on the bottom. So I'm going to need everybody to make a body save.
Okay. Failure.
Failure.
Fail.
Yeah, She fails and spills coffee on herself.
Yeah, I was thinking Floyd did the exact same thing.
So everybody who
Could I
failed.
possibly get use military training to bump up what I need to roll under, or is that not going to be applicable?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, cool. Then I succeed.
Okay. So everybody who fails takes 3 damage to their hit points and gains 6 stress.
Sorry, how much hit point damage?
3 hit points.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have crash landed on this planet, and you know for sure that you're not in the right system, let alone on the right planet. This is not Elysium at all. You guys were supposed to rendezvous with with the space station before hitting Elysium anyway, right? So you guys have overshot or undershot or shot somewhere else completely. And Eliza and Captain Elric, they kind of get up and they dust themselves off, and they look out the front view screen, and it's not like an analog window, or you know what I mean? It's an actual like screen, right. And it's like flickering, and you can again see this landscape completely rocky, dusty. You can kind of see wind blowing and whipping up this purple reddish dust and whipping it into small little tornadoes. As the dust flies into the sky. But again, it's like flickering on and off. The lights are flickering, and all the computer screens are scrambled. They dust themselves off, and Captain Elric's like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, guys.
I'm confused. Why would the company send me coordinates that would crash land the ship? That seems very odd, doesn't it?
Are these the coordinates that you put in, Rent?
Exactly. They are exactly the coordinates that I inputted from the last transmission while everyone was in cryosleep.
While we were in cryosleep? So we got another transmission?
Yes. I am programmed to follow every order that the company gives me. Protocol is my protocol.
She kind of grits her teeth and she's like, could we see this communication? Like, was there more to it, or was it just a coordinate, or?
Well, part of the communication corrupted some of my memory banks, so I cannot exactly remember the keystrokes that I logged for it.
She pulls up a wrench and she's like, I think I could fix it.
The robot's already broken. Don't break it more.
Oh, I am not broken. I'm functioning in prime capacity. And I'm an android, if you please.
And yet some of your memory's gone.
Well, I am a machine.
Broke is broke, mate.
Mala hands Sunny a pamphlet. It says Android Overlords and You. And she says, it's all in there. It's all in there. And then she walks off and says, I'm going to go grab my stuff. I'm going to go take a peek outside. And she goes out to grab her vac suit and all of her exploration gear.
Right. While this conversation was happening, Floyd is going to retrieve the cybernetic diagnostic scanner from his kit. And I'll just ask Rent, do you mind? And I imagine it's just sort of like a screen. I don't know, something I would scan you with.
Oh, of course.
This is just to make sure nothing's wrong.
Of course.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and scan Rent. So the scanner says, allows the user to scan androids and other cybernetic organisms in order to diagnose any physical or mental issues they might be having.
So you start to kind of like you plug it in. Is it like, are you like plugging Rent in?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you plug this thing into the back of Rent's neck, and you find it's almost as if Rent has been hacked. there's sufficient memory damage, and the it's also kind of scrambled as well, like the readouts that you're getting.
You're fucked, Rent.
I
Wait.
do not feel fucked.
Do I detect that anything's happened? Anything's changed to, I guess, his disposition towards us, or is it just his memory?
No, I don't imagine you don't.
I don't find anything like that.
No.
Okay.
You just see that it's like corrupted and almost like hacked or something like that.
Okay. And it looks deliberate, I guess. Do I know that? Or it just looks like chunks are missing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, like you're getting scrambled readouts and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'll relay that to whoever's around me. Yeah, Rent's, he's just missing a lot of shit in there. I don't know.
So can we take a moment then to recognize that once again, the rat is right?
Sure.
Good. That's all I needed.
Flittle. Unplug Rent maybe a little bit too hard without really realizing it. Put the tool away.
Is anybody else heading on to the surface with Malachi?
I'll go along.
So the captain said that we can't take off, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All the manual controls don't work at all.
Or actually, I'll ask the captain. Should I suit up to go outside, or would you like me to stay here and go over the computer systems?
Right, we're fucked. I don't care what you do.
Very well. I will go suit up. I'm curious about this purple wind. And I'm going to get an evac suit.
So,
or vac suit.
So you guys make your way to the storage compartment where the rover is, and the rover itself is like this big 6-wheeled vehicle, right? Just like you would imagine, like any of the Mars rovers or anything like that, but like with room for seating and an airlock, right? And there's also an airlock in the storage room, which is kind of the way out too. So you get your vac suit on, you find it no problem. It has a camera on it, and any of your teammates can view that as well. And it has a flashlight, and it has 1 hour, and I'll set that timer, and that's going to be real time, guys. So if as soon as you guys get out onto the onto the thing, we're going to do real time. If we have to pause it for anything, like having to go piss or whatever, like we're going to do that, but it'll be real time. Time for the vac suits. So they have an hour, and they take we'll say 30 minutes to charge back to full capacity. All right. So
is everyone going, or so far it's Rent and Malachi, right?
Yeah, she's got her suit on, and she's got a giant bag of tools. There's no rules for like anything like encumbrance or anything, right? We could just carry as much as we want.
I mean, let's keep it reasonable,
right? Like what an actual human could.
Yeah. So, like it looks like the starting loadouts are a reasonable amount of things, right? Like
yeah, it's a pretty good amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Like for.
But you also have to think it's in like a sci-fi type setting. Like you're not gonna load down as much as you would if you were like in like a post-apocalyptic or a fantasy or anything like that. Just keep it honest. I don't know. Just put a reasonable amount of shit. Like don't. Like if you can have whatever is reasonable, and it can be in like a different part of the ship or whatever, right? I don't mind shit like that. But so You guys are making your way out onto the surface of this unknown planet.
Yep.
All right.
I'm all set. Everybody else ready?
Is there like a soil diagnostic tool or some type of equipment that I could take from the ship?
Yeah, you guys would definitely have something of that nature, something to test for tritium.
Cool. Primary function. So I'm hauling one of those.
But before they enter before they exit the ship, I guess I'm gonna just ask Eliza. So our ship's broke, but can we do like a scan or something? See if there's anything interesting out here.
Like of the area, like
Right. I mean, we were sent here for a reason, right? But we don't know why.
it seems like that. So, the ship does have scanners, but again, they're all fucking fried. Right?
Okay, everything. Okay. Hmm.
And you guys could do like a manual diagnostic of the ship. You know what I mean? But like the computers are all fucked, so it's
Okay.
and Captain Elric and Eliza seem to be like staying on the ship. They're like trying to figure out. They're like typing furiously into the ship's computers, trying to like break this code or whatever.
Am I the only one with exploration gear? Anybody else have that? You do?
Yep.
Great. Yeah. So we both have like the long range comms with the ship and like a locator beacon that's like flashing on our shoulder or something, right?
Yeah, binoculars, flashlight, all that good stuff.
Cool. Camping gear.
Yep.
Are you guys taking the rover?
Oh, that's a good idea.
We need a driver.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you take it without me, that's gonna be hell to pay.
And I'm a little you can tell by like the even with her vac suit on, you can smell the whiskey on her breath from the Irish coffee that she
Oh no. Yeah, I guess Floyd just turns to Sunny. Well, you have to drive them, right? Or are they just gonna walk somewhere?
Well, so is the rover linked up with the computer systems of the ship itself, or?
It does have like communications, but it also has its own like standalone system. So it's not like it's not tainted. You wouldn't think that it would be tainted by the corruption that's going on with the ship's computer.
Cool. Yeah, well, hopefully Stacy ain't been messed up with all this shit, eh? I'll go see and get her ready.
Okay.
And yeah, I would assume. So I've got a standard battle dress. Does that count as an evac suit?
I would just play it as you have like you can wear it your vac suit over it or whatever.
Cool. Yeah, I dress up. Go check out Stacy. Turn her on. See all systems are good.
Yeah, Floyd will follow, and I guess before he'll go with if the rover's going.
Okay, so and the rover we'll say has 2 hours of time of life support system before needing to return to the ship in charge. So let me reset this. So if everybody suits up and gets into the rover.
Are there any supplies in the rover itself or ways to link up the evac suits to the rover to get extra charge?
you can charge vac suits off the rover as well.
Cool.
All right. So you guys start up the rover. You decompress the garage storage area and let down the ramp, and you drive down. And again, this is like completely rocky and arid surface, and you can see like these like odd shaped like mountains. Like it looks almost like maybe pyramids or something like that off in the distance. And you make your way like down the children. So you make your way down the ramp, and you make your way onto the surface of this planet. Again, you're seeing these little dust devils pick up every once in a while. Hold on a second. They're like wrestling.
Rolling a pose check.
So you're seeing these like little dust devils of purple reddish sand kick up, and you're driving for like maybe 5 minutes, and you can see like the silhouette of something that looks a little bit like a wrecked ship.
Well, that looks curious.
I pull out my binoculars and look at it as we're driving closer.
So as you guys approach this thing, the first thing you recognize is it is the same model as your ship. And you start to, as you get closer, you can see that it's like caked with dust. You know what I mean? And you could tell that that could easily happen in a short amount of time, right here. But it's completely caked with dust. But it does look a lot like a company ship.
Well, my bullshit meter's going off. I don't like this for one fucking bit.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. So it's the same ship we got. So maybe it's just like the same ship.
That would be highly
You ever
illogical.
think about that?
I think you've been hitting the head too many times, to be honest.
I want to know if that's so.
Just
If you're,
tomatoes.
I think that you should roll a sanity roll for that.
All right.
I'm serious.
Okay. 71. So that is a definite failure.
All right, you take one stress, and you start to believe that like a little further that it might be your own ship.
Okay. Actually, and I'm a scientist, so I think everyone else gets one stress too.
Oh,
That's fun.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So how do you
I'm
stress
telling
it
you,
out?
man, it could totally be our ship. But if that's our ship, then who are we really? Or what? I don't know.
I am Rent, communications officer.
Are you? You don't
Now,
remember?
mate, you're going to make my head hurt if you keep talking like that.
We'll see.
Are you meaning that it's possibly the same ship from a different time, or that we have driven in a circle?
I don't know. Both and all.
So, are you guys going to like approach the wrecked ship, or are you guys gonna pass and see what else you can see?
Not if he keeps talking like that. He's going to scare me, he is. No, I guess we'll probably drive closer, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So you get closer, and you can see the markings on it a little clearer, and you can see that it's not your ship. But it is marked as the company, and it looks like it actually, like from a distance, it looked like it wrecked like you guys did, but it looks like it made a successful landing.
Huh.
while we're driving over, Molly's got her survey kit out, and she's like testing the air quality and gravity and mapping our trek over there. What does she find?
So, you would find that the gravity is there is gravity, but it's not quite as much as Earth, right? So, it is like a little bit. Everything's a little bit lighter. There is no oxygen. It's not breathable air.
Like the
And
purple haze is like
it's like the dust.
right. Okay, got it.
So,
How long did it take us to reach the ship or reach the proximity of it?
I'm saying that we're going like real time.
Oh, right.
So,
Okay.
so like it only took like 5 or 10 minutes, really.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, we gotta check it out, right?
I believe excitement is the proper phrase.
Do you feel excitement?
Well, this is rather curious. And it's not our ship. I think humans call that relief.
Yeah, I'm
But
feeling
this one-
pretty relieved.
But this one isn't exploring the unknown a thing of excitement?
Totally.
Well,
Then excitement.
There's a difference between, unknown out in a foreign country, late night, and some planet in the middle of nowhere where God knows what's fucking out here.
I mean, they are probably the ones that contacted us, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
You hear this voice on the radio. She's like, are you boys gonna come or what? And then you see her, and she's already like 50 paces out with this like giant wrench that she's like lugging around.
She exited the rover without us
Yes.
noticing.
Curious. And I make for the airlock as well.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So you guys all exit the airlock. You get out. You can kind of feel the wind, like pushing against you. Like you can tell that it's definitely like a really inhospitable place, right? And you make your way over to the ship, and again, it's the same model as yours. It's definitely an exploratory ship. The markings aren't the same, so you kind of put that to rest a little bit and maybe feel a little bit better, but you don't get to take any stress off. And like, what are you guys going to do? You guys just trying to check it out from the outside, or?
Do we see a name of the ship?
It's NK-15.
Floyd's going. Sonny's still in the ship in the rover, right?
No, he moved the moment his masculinity was questioned.
Okay. I don't know if Floyd can do this, but can he try and reach out to any sort of radio that's on the ship?
Yeah, definitely. So you open up hailing frequencies, and you start to try to communicate with the ship, and everything is dead.
Okay. Yeah, they're not picking up.
And also, you're also not picking up any distress signal or anything like that.
Okay. Floyd will just. So this is barren, right? Very rocky. Are we leaving any boot prints? Or I guess the windy atmosphere would just sort of blow them away, right? Okay.
I mean, I'm sure like deeper tracks and stuff like that, like your rover, the tracks are going to last a little bit longer, and then there'd be some traces of movement and stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, it would blow them away.
Okay.
As we're walking up to that ship, I'd like to take a little sample tube and collect some of the soil.
Yeah, you definitely do that. Are you gonna take time to analyze it here, or?
I'll wait till we get out of the wind and stuff. I don't want the blowing dust to ruin diagnostic machine or equipment or whatever.
Are we able to reach? So we know it's the same model of our ship. Is there on our ship? Is there a way to enter from the outside, like some sort of emergency? I don't know.
I mean, so if you guys take the time to look around the ship, you can see that the back cargo bay door is completely open with the red.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
And do they have a rover in there?
No rover.
Ooh, that's curious.
Is there a lot of external damage? Does it look like the ship is pretty intact and we can take parts, or does it look like it's a wreck?
It looks like, other than covered in dust, it's pristine. Also, I'm getting an echo off of somebody.
Still have an echo? Yep.
It's only when
I radio our ship. I'm like, Big Tomato, this is Little Tomato. We found a ship, NK-15. Do you have any records on the computer about an NK-15?
And you get like a scratchy like communication back. It's like maybe the planet maybe is like interfering with the comms, but it's like you found another ship. You got to be fucking kidding me! It's almost like our savior. We got so fucking lucky, guys. We're definitely gonna need parts from that ship. We've got extensive damage over here. I've been outside checking it out, and the last thing you hear is Captain Elric scream. And everybody who heard that needs to make a fear save.
Oh boy!
And because there's an android nearby, it's at disadvantage.
So that's roll twice. Take the worst.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, well,
right on the dot.
Floyd got a critical failure.
Critical failure. So you're gonna take 1d10 and make a panic check. Everybody else is going to take. So you take 4 stress and make a panic check. I think everybody else takes an extra 1 stress on top of 2 stress that you got from the die.
Oh,
What is a panic check? Is that under my stress?
All right. So what you're trying to do is not roll under your stress. I know that's the one thing that's a little confusing. So you want to take 2d10 and roll over your stress. If you're able to do that, then you do not panic.
Okay, I did not panic, thankfully.
Okay. And then also you subtract you add your resolve to that as well.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So you said we take 1 stress in addition to what?
To 2 stress from the die. And I'm still echoing, so like I guess we'll have to all mute whenever we're not talking.
I think it's Munt.
Yeah, I think it might be me.
So yeah, you take 2 stress from the die roll and 1 stress from the scientist taking stress. So you start to panic a little bit, Floyd, and but you're able to kind of hold it together.
Okay.
Do I still take the stress if I pass the fear?
No. You
So
do
just
take the stress from the
okay.
you take the 1 stress from the scientist failing, but so yeah, the last thing that you heard. And by the way, do you guys like how often do you want warnings on the timers for the rover and the suits?
15 minutes, maybe?
Every 15
20 minutes?
All right.
Yeah.
So from the rover, you hear you have 1 hour and 45 minutes left of life support, and from your suits, you're still getting no warning has come on yet.
Okay. Because we were basically charging while we were in the rover.
Yeah. So whoever's still in the thing, you're not. But I think
think we're all
I
out
think,
right now.
yeah. Okay, so everybody's out. Yeah, so you guys are 55 minutes. Yeah, and I didn't start it until you guys got out of the rover. So,
Cool.
So yeah, you guys are on this surface of this like inhospitable planet next to a intact NK-15 marked ship. The back bay door is open and it is completely like shadowy inside. There's not any lights or anything like that on the inside. Now you would know from your ship that there would definitely be at least like a flicker of light if the ship was up and running.
Right. Battery's dead. Floyd is going to turn to Sunny. Like, you're like the Marine, right? Should we go back?
I mean, I don't know what we can do here if shit's gone pear-shaped back there, right?
Right. I don't know. It seems like bad stuff's happening back there, but maybe we should just stay here. This can be our ship now.
Yeah, dude.
Well-
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really know Captain Elric or Eliza. All I know is that she kept on trying to, steal my toothpaste and stuff. But I'm just here for a job, man. So if it looks safer in the new ship than the old ship.
Well, that remains to be seen. I'm going to go inside and have a look. I'm going to flip on my light and walk up the ramp. Who knows what might be in here or what might not be in here? There may not even be power.
Well, I think I get paid a bit more to keep the captain alive than I do you lot, so I'm going to go check him out. And yeah, I'm going to head back for the rover to go back to the ship.
Okay, so is anybody going with Brendan or with the rat?
No.
Well, yeah, one of us should.
All right, Floyd will go.
All right, so Floyd and the rat make their way back to the rover.
You
While
hear this like, Psh, fine, leave me with the android. Psh.
Nothing bad has ever happened when you're alone with an android.
I love androids. Psh.
Wrong channel. I can hear you.
I know.
Oh, carry on.
So you guys, we'll start with you. Make your way up the ramp of this ship that is very similar to your own. Now, you do notice that the cargo is still there, and immediately Rent, and maybe even you, Malachi, can tell that this is the cargo loadout that a ship that's getting ready to start a mining operation brings with them, right? Like probably like the second, so like they would send out guys like you, right? Go check it out, check everything out, and then they'd send in them with a temporary base so that everything can get started, right? And that's what you see on here is the equipment to get a temporary base started. You guys go deeper into the ship, and it is completely empty, right? There's no life support controls on or anything like that. A lot of the doors are open, but it doesn't seem like there was any like explosive decompression or anything like that. So it must have somebody must have depressurized the whole entire thing before opening a door. And it's identical to your own ship. I mean, minus like little odds and ends out of place or whatever, personal effects, but it's the same ship. Not literal, but the same type of ship.
this keeps getting more and more peculiar. Like, I have not heard of any survey team that came to this place before this ship did. It seems odd that they would send a mining operation immediately.
Do you check your memory banks for that?
Yeah, I want to do like a quick run through.
Yeah, so you don't need to roll anything. You check and it's like empty. Like those like records of NK-15 are complete. They're part of that memory that you don't have. And you have a lot of the company files on there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have no records at all of this ship. That is very peculiar.
Do we see any control panels or any computers or anything?
Yeah, definitely. That's all.
And nothing works?
So if you want to roll intelligence, we'll see if you should know it because you have like engineering. You're like an engineer type teamster, right?
Sure. More like a heavy machinery jury rigging kind of. She just kind of bangs on the computer with her rubber fist here and gets totally fails.
Computers need a gentle touch.
And she's like she's like banging on it.
And I guess maybe does anybody have any kind of ship repair type related skills or anything like that? Because I think if you did, you'd have knowledge of this right off the bat.
I got like mechanical repair and machinery and jury rigging.
So if you have mechanical repair, you would know that the console has a manual hand crank to where you can power up the console temporarily.
Okay, so she's like, Rent, look, I'm going to crank the thingy, and then you're going to type into the thingy, and then we're going to fly this thingy out of here. She starts cranking the thing.
So, and it only powers the console itself. It doesn't power, like, it's like an emergency.
Right.
And you do pull up the computers. Are you guys going to check into, what are you guys going to look into?
Yeah, I do have computers for skill. I want to look at the, or try and look up what the last, I guess like the last logs on the ship to see, possibly find out why they would have blown all the decompression out and shut everything down.
Yeah. So, roll your computer skill and see if you can find the last logs.
Rolled a 16 out of 54.
All right, cool. So you pull up the logs and you see like a various Earth-based dates for logs, right? And the final log is probably about 30 years ago, right? Which is strange because the ship is the same, right? You pull up this video log, and there is a woman wearing a vac suit with the light of the vac suit on, and the ship behind her is completely dark, but the inside of her vac suit is lighting her face, and you can tell that she's like kind of distraught. And she's like crying, and she's like, they're all dead, every single last one of them. Those things, they killed them. And then you see like her like kind of like jerk down, and she's like, and then jerk down again, and then pulls her completely out of frame, and then the log goes dead. And you can kind of hear like the sound of like something hard on metal, like tink 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 tink, right? And pulling you away. So let's go to the guys on the rover. So you guys have made it back by now, and as soon as you get to the ship, now do you pull the rover into the Oh, and by the way, 45-minute. And I guess we'll stop your guys' clock since we're not talking to you guys right now. But you guys pull the rover into the bay immediately, or do you guys like surveil the outside first?
No, I'm going to drive straight into the bay.
So you like the first thing you notice is that that it looks like the like all the lights have failed, right? You don't see any flickering or anything like that. And you pull into the bay, complete like pitch blackness except for the two beams of light that are coming out the front of the rover, or maybe it's a light bar or whatever. And like you just close the door behind you, or and we are never mind.
I think my first reaction would be to close the door because the environment out there is worse than darkness.
So you can signal that from inside the rover, obviously, and it's not responding.
That's bad.
Yeah, give me a sec. And I'm going to jump out. And is there a way I can manually do it from the actual door itself? Because I do also have mechanical repair.
Yeah, so I guess there'd probably be like some sort of like manual release. It wouldn't be like a nice like slow closing or anything like that. But so it would like clang shut, so you'd have to watch out. But yeah, you could definitely do that.
And if I do that, do I know how difficult it'll be to open back up again?
Difficult.
Okay. If I leave the door open with the rover turned off, can I keep the rover turned off or charged while I leave the door open, or is that going to interfere with that?
So you can leave the door open and the rover on charge, but it doesn't look like there's any power in here.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it won't make a difference anyway. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave the door open then.
When we were approaching the ship, if our ship had like decompressed, like the entire thing, would there have been like from all the air just being shunted out? Would we have noticed anything like in the dust and the surrounding?
Yeah, you can even look up. So you look up into the and you can like I imagine that the bay had like two sets of stairs going up on either side, and then like a landing, and then you can see that door is closed, right? So
right.
You would assume that the vacuum was still maintained.
Okay, vacuum is hopefully maintained inside the ship.
Yeah. From an initial look, you wouldn't guess that there was like any explosive decompression.
Okay, and we're inside the rover. We have air. Is that correct?
You do, and you just as you have that thought, the rover goes, "You have 1 hour and 30 minutes of life support remaining."
Okay, Floyd, before he gets out of the rover, is just going to make sure he's got his tranq pistol and sharpened butter knife outside of his vac suit and at hand. And then he'll vac suit back up and exit the rover.
What about the rat?
Yeah, the rat takes the Android Overlord's pamphlet he was reading while driving and tucks it into his battle suit, sticks on his helmet, turns on a flashlight, and jumps out after Sunbeam.
So, again, it is completely pitch. You guys turn off the rover. So I will stop that timer. And then, so I didn't realize I was going to have to make 3 timers. I didn't realize that. So,
we could just hold our breath in real time too. I mean,
yeah. So, we'll just retcon that hour. We'll say it takes like 5 minutes to charge for the hour for the suits or whatever, because you guys have limited time with the rover. So you guys turn off all the life support systems of the rover and hop out into your suit, into the cargo area. It is completely pitch black. All you can see is out what's encompassed inside of the beam of your light. And what do? You guys make your way up to the door.
Marine first. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now you guys know that there's no airlock between the two. The airlock is the cargo bay itself, basically.
Oh, right. So the shit. Okay. Yeah. So the ship is decompressed then, right? Would that be the conclusion we come to?
You'd have to open the door and see, or check around, but you can't.
Okay, we don't.
Like I said, you didn't see any like obvious signs of decompression or anything like that, unless somebody unless like the life support systems failed or something like that, and it's slowly decompressed.
I see.
Okay. Or somebody actually manually decompressed the cabin, and that wouldn't be explosive at all. That would be like a slower process.
But opening this door while we are not, while the big door is open, could result in bad things. Is that?
If the cabin is under compression, it'd
be bad. Okay. Sonny, what do you think?
Well, we won't be able to get out quicker, but we might save some air if we close that garage.
Can we close it?
Yeah. So we can close it. It's just going to be a loud smash bang, and then getting it open if we want to get out quickly is going to be difficult. But I think that's probably a better idea than losing God knows how much oxygen.
And maybe killing any survivors.
Yeah.
That'd be bad too, I guess.
Yeah. So the rat will go over and manually shut the rover door. Well, not the rover door, the hangar door.
So you manually shut the rover door and then go over to the process where the compression compresses the cargo bay, and that seems to be working. So that's good news, right? And in a moment your vac suit goes. You get the notification that there's breathable air.
Yeah, so I take off my helmet and I look over to Flood and go, well, good news is not everything's fucked.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my helmet on. I think.
Is that a fourth timer I have to say? All right, so you guys get everything decompressed. And what do you guys do at this point?
Yeah, I'll go first up.
Or compressed, I mean.
Yeah, so I'm heading up first inside with Floyd following me.
So you slowly make your way, and at first you pass the lab and you can see the scene where you guys kind of fell, like there's still like residual like fluids on the ground and stuff like that. And again, all you can see is what's encompassed inside of the light. And you make your way further, and you can start to hear like a buzzing as you start to approach the galley area.
That doesn't sound. Humans don't make that sound, I don't think. Do they?
What sort of buzzing?
Like a bee.
Okay.
Maybe just one of the electronics are shorting.
It could be. My ears don't usually make that sort of noise, so it's definitely not coming from me. Not enough has happened yet, I think, for the rat to pull out a gun.
You should pull out a gun. Floyd is just like holding his tranq pistol like James Bond, except very incompetently. I mean, the captain was screaming, I think, right?
Yep.
So maybe gun.
But you remember, if you remember, he was outside. He was talking to you from outside of the ship.
Right.
Okay.
But you do hear buzzing like a bee, like a lot of bees.
All right. Well, I'll pull out my gun then, but just don't point that thing in my direction. You got it?
Okay. And he'll just sort of hold it behind him.
Yeah. So I'll pull out my SMG and sort of slink forward and
Alright.
do a sort of. I'll stop just before I get to the door and listen a little bit closer.
So as you get closer to the as you get closer to the door, the noise gets louder, and it doesn't just sound like bees anymore. It sounds like very, if bees were bigger, right? This is like and you're hearing like a ton of it. And you get like even closer, and you kind of look into the galley through the porthole and shine your light through and again these areas are separated, right? And you look in there, and you can see it looks like Eliza is on the ground, and there is this huge thing on her neck. It's got these like fleshy like wings, and they're like moving at an incredible rate, and it almost looks like a large mosquito, but like flesh toned. And it's got it looks like it's like got a straw into her neck, and she's completely withered, and you can see like the last moment at you can see like the body kind of like reverse pulsating, right? Not pulsating like outwards, like being like pulled and sucked in. And her face is very skeletal, and at this moment you're gonna need to make a fear save.
Can Floyd see it yet?
How close were you following behind?
Maybe like 5 feet.
I think that it's through. I said through the porthole, so it's not like the door is open or anything like that. So unless you actually made a point to look through. So how'd the rat do on that fear save?
I failed by 2.
Nice. So you will take the full D10 because this is a crew member. So you take 7 sanity loss, or I'm not I mean stress, and make a panic check.
2d10.
Yep, and you're trying to get over your stress.
Oof. And it's added together for overstress?
Yep.
Okay, fail.
Fail. Nice. Yay. Here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go. And isn't there how do you handle panics? Does something happen?
So when I panic, every friendly player nearby needs to make a fear save.
Okay, so while I'm rolling his panic effect, you need to make a fear save.
I failed.
Nice. So you're going to take, just from seeing him panic, you're only going to take the D5 stress. So you take 5 full stress. And then what is your current stress, the rat?
13.
13? All right. So I'll read it like you. Well, wait, just in case it's one of the really bad ones, because sometimes, remember, we might have to talk privately depending on which one it is. And you said 13?
Yep.
All right. So you have a new phobia.
Cool.
Your new phobia is obviously, I think it's quite obvious what it is. It is of
straws.
Freestone.
It is of these fucking what is it called? These mosquito things.
So I think what Rat does is he just just sort of panics at the sight, takes a step back, and tries to shoot straight through the window.
All right, and let's take a quick pause between because I'm just gonna switch right back to the other guys, and I'm gonna grab a beer real quick, and if anybody needs to take a bio break or anything like that.
Okay.
All right, I'm back, everybody. If anybody's back.
Okay, I'm here as well.
All right. So, what do you think so far?
It's fun. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a heart attack, but
How much stress? Where are you at on stress?
19.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're fucked.
I'm dead. We'll see.
Whatever the night. If you fail a panic, you're gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I was just looking at the panic.
You're getting to the point where you're not even going to be able to pass a panic roll.
Yeah.
Once you have 20.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, unless you have resolve, which there's not been anything to give you resolve.
No, I think resolve typically is just something you can get at level up. I think
you can also get it from panicking as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice.
I think. No, never mind. No, you can't. You get laser focus, which is advantage on all rolls for the next 1d10 hours. All right. It's a fun system. It's my favorite one to run right now. I've been on a kick. I've ran this is like the 4th time I've ran it since I found it.
It definitely seems like a good one for one shots, too. Like
I've
Or the most
honestly had
interesting.
the best endings, like the tightest, neatest, wrapped up in a bow one shots that I've ever had with this system.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the genre that's easier to wrap up neatly or whatever, but
Well, the fact
Right.
that everyone dies.
Yeah. People die. People are allowed to die. It's fine.
right. Let me make this kid right here go to bed. Look at him.
Okay. Up too late. So how much stress does everyone else have right now?
I got like 13.
13?
Yeah, same. I doubled mine in that one failure.
So anytime you see these mosquito things from this point on, you have to make a save to be able to. What happens?
Hopefully he'll just kill it and that'll be the end of the alien threat.
Oh, it's not even. It's not. That's what you see in the corner. Well, we'll talk about more the rest of what you see. We cut immediately right there. So
Yeah.
So you start to panic and everything like that is where you're at right now. And then we'll
That is
just
like the perfect go to commercial scene. It's just the Marine shooting in the window, freaking out the scientist behind him.
Well, I don't think he can. He's gonna have to.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's permanent too. You have to make a fear save again anytime that you encounter it, which I think you would anyway. I don't know. We'll say that it's at disadvantage or something like that from now on.
It would be really interesting to see how messed up characters could get in an ongoing campaign of this.
I'm running one right now.
So many phobias.
Well, see, what the problem I was having is that I wasn't. So the rules say 1 stress per failed save or whatever, which is just too slow in an ongoing thing, right? Unless they're in like at the beginning of a campaign, it's like hard to dish out a lot of stress if you're only getting 1 stress per go, right?
Right.
So we're gonna switch to 1 stress and 1d5 from now on. But in one shot, I'm using 1d10 and 1d5 from now on, unless the situation is like light and you get 1 stress or something like that. But so we are back to Malachi. What is it again? How do you say it?
She calls herself Malachi. But what's really funny is it's probably Malachi or something.
So Malachi and Rent, you guys witness this last log. Did you guys make a fear save on that or not? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Nope.
All right. If you guys both watched it, you're going to need to make a fear save, and then Malachi, you make it at disadvantage because you're standing next to an android.
Oh. She totally fails.
I rolled spot on 85 of 85. So pass.
So you take 1 stress, and I think it's a good time for a panic roll.
Okay.
So 2d10, and you're trying to get over your stress.
Let's see, 2d10. Ooh, uh-oh. I got 16. I just passed. All right. Yay.
All right. So you start to freak out a little bit, but you're able to control yourself. So what do you guys do after you? And let me get back to your guys.
Like the clinking sound. It has to have been other androids. So only androids make metallic sounds.
And you hear at that moment from the internals of your vac suit, it says you have 45 minutes of life support remaining.
She starts breathing faster.
I really don't think that will help. I have an extra O2 tank, and I'm actually not using the one that's plugged into my suit.
She takes it very suspiciously.
I used the O2 on the suit just because I think it might be unnerving if I appeared to not actually need the oxygen. I don't want to seem unnerving.
Do you need to be wearing a suit at all?
Well, of course. I mean, the rest of you wouldn't want me exposed to any type of microorganisms or bacteria on this planet. That would be very strange. It would be an interesting experiment at some point in the future, but probably under controlled conditions.
She's like, give me that. And she like goes over to the console and she tries to see if there are, is there like a way to check for life signs or like video cameras or anything?
Do you have any kind of scanners or anything like that?
No, I got a survey kit, locator, but that just tells people where I am, right?
The computer, and Brent would know this from his last roll on the thing. It tells you the status of the ship. You can see that vital signs are off, battery is off, backup power is off, but the computer system seems to be intact. And you can also see the current status of the what is it, like repairs or whatever, like what needs to be like a
diagnostics.
like a diagnostics, and you can see that the ship, other than the battery, seems to be intact.
Okay. So
does it show that the battery ran out of power, or that they just turned off, like flipped the switch?
You would know that at this, if this has been here as long as 30 years, then it would definitely have run out by now. It's supposed to last like 2 years max.
Okay. So Malachi, being a teamster, does she know, basically how to fix this? Like, is there other fuel on board ships like this usually? Is there where like jump started or?
You would probably deduce that you could use the battery from the other ship.
Well, Rent, looks like we got a good ship here, no battery. We got a bad ship over there with a good battery. So, should we go back there and grab the battery, or should we go further?
And just as you say, should we go further? Like the R sound kind of leaves your mouth, and you start to kind of hear like ting 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 ting.
That's not me.
Well, it's probably something that's going to kill me. So maybe we'll go back and grab our friend. Let's go grab Sonny. He's got a gun. In the meantime, see ya. And she just like runs out back outside.
What does Rit do? And it's coming from the sound is coming from the internals of the ship, not from behind you.
Okay. I'm gonna follow her out and pull out the Vibichetti just in case.
So you guys run out of the ship, and you find yourself alone on the surface of this planet. If you took time to look into the sky, you can see like tons of stars and everything like that. You can see two like illuminated moons, one blue and one red. And again, the wind is kind of whipping. You can feel the pressure of the wind on your body through the vac suit.
Hopefully we have enough air for you to make it back to the ship.
We check how much time we have?
You look at your system, and you have 40 minutes and 6 seconds.
You think it'd be about a 20-minute run to get back? Or like an hour?
I think that it would be. I think you're you're about spot on, like a 30-minute jot to get there.
Malachi drops her camping gear, and what else is heavy? I guess she keeps the rigging gun. She drops the extra oxygen tank and the heavy stuff.
I'll carry the extra O2 tank.
Okay.
You might need it.
And she starts stretching, and she's like, I used to run track and field on the for the dippers. So try to keep up, and she starts sprinting back towards the ship.
Does anybody take a final glance at the other ship before you?
Yep. I was gonna say I'm gonna periodically keep glancing over the shoulder back at that other ship as we're going.
So you as you get about 20 yards away from the ship, you look back, and from inside the cargo bay, you see at first emerge from the shadows of the cargo bay at the bottom of the ramp. You first see these large pincers, right? And then followed up by these 2 large jaws with a segmented body and 8 legs and a tail that comes up and has and you can see the point of a very large stinger. So basically what you're seeing is a large scorpion. But again, this thing, it looks like fleshy. It looks like flesh tone. So it's a weird pink color. So
don't look back.
You need to make a fear save too.
Oh, I'm really very scared now. Don't look back. Keep going.
Did you
run
fail
faster?
So you take.
I surprisingly failed. I have a window of 15 points to fail on a fear.
All right. So you take 1 stress.
Ooh, all right.
And now I think it's time for a chase, right? I think that's probably appropriate, right? So let's do now for this. We'll do this like the OG combat, like the way that we used to do the combat. So the highest, whoever gets the highest without going over, and you need to get 3 ahead of this thing to get away, right?
Okay.
So
Wait, how does that? So I don't use my speed stat or anything like that.
So use your speed stat, right?
Uh-huh.
And whoever gets the highest without going over. So if you fail,
right.
you fail, right? But you're not trying to get the lowest, right?
Right.
And we're gonna use, and I don't know, I forgot to tell you guys this, but 99 is the highest number, and 00 is the lowest number. So 00 is a crit fail, and 99 is a crit fail, and 00 is a crit success. Right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Got it.
Just so you guys know, I don't know if that's came up at all yet. But if that hasn't, I'm sorry. But anyway, let's do this shit. So that scorpion kind of it sees you guys, and it lets out and you hear this weird and it's got these huge pincers, and and you can tell that those 8 legs are what was making the tinking noise on the metallic floor of the ship. So
I failed my first one.
I passed, and I got a 25.
Yeah, Mala's super fast, but she's not used to the gravity, and she totally fails.
All right, so that's even with you guys, because I'm going to say that you guys were 1 ahead anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's right on us now.
Yeah, it's catching up.
Oh crap!
Oh man!
So this thing is chasing you, clipping its pincers as it's chasing you, and kind of flicking its tail. So we'll do it again. And I got an 11, which is a crit success. So unless anybody else gets a crit success, that's another success for me.
I got another fail.
All right.
I got a regular success.
All right. So Rent is on -2, and you are on. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are on. No, Rent is on 1, and you are on +1 or 0. I mean.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So we'll do it again. I failed that time.
I totally, like, she starts to panic and she runs so fast she ends up like moon jumping into the air, and it doesn't go further, it just goes higher.
I passed one this time, 29 out of 36.
All right, Rent, you're at a 0. And I failed anyway, so that leaves us at a stalemate still.
Okay.
So this time I got a 35 and passed.
Can I actually instead pull out the rigging gun and fire that at the thing?
Yeah,
because it says it has like a retractable harpoon and a monofilament cable.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping like I can just shoot it kind of in between its legs and maybe tangle it in that cable.
Yeah. Try it.
I mean, my combat is worse than my speed, so this might be a really bad idea. Son of a bitch. I rolled a 33, my combat's 32.
Oh.
So
that's a good fail.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So let's figure out what
I succeeded though with the 23, so
so yeah, that's
which is worse than yours, yeah. So
but he stopped, so
Yeah.
it would have so you're +1 right now. Even though you failed because he stopped. So he stops and fires his rigging gun at this thing, and it goes wide, and somehow like a loop of the filament goes and tangles around his leg and pulls knocks him off his feet, and now he's prone. So now you're gonna have to use an action to get up, and the thing is, and you're not, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that it has initiative on you, right? So you take a look back, Malachi, and you see that the android is falling onto his back, and he's tangled up in the rigging gun filament. And then we will cut to the other guys.
I'm convinced the theory was sound.
All right. So I believe where we left off, Sunny was firing through the window.
Did you take a shot through the window, Sunny?
So I went to take a shot through the window.
All right.
I haven't rolled anything though.
So roll a combat to see if you can hit the mosquito thing through the
Nope. Oh wait, sorry, plus 10%. Yes.
All right. So you hit it, and you're shooting the SMG?
Yeah.
All right.
I was shooting on the assumption that I very well might not have been able to shoot through the actual. It might have been bulletproof.
No, I don't think it is. So most people have one shot with the SMG. It like shoots all the bullets, right? But Marines have 5. So it's 4d10 damage. And let's half that because you're shooting through the window or whatever.
So that's 28 down to 14.
So you like obliterate this fucking thing. You said 28?
Yep. Down
All
to
right.
14.
So, and then you notice that your bullet flies through another one and then clips another one's wings, right? Oh, down to 14. My bad.
Yeah, down to 14.
it clips one of the wings, and one of them flies. And I guess maybe that's the moment that you notice that the room is fucking full of them. There's at least 10 in there from what you can see.
Floyd just says, "What the
And
fuck are you doing?"
Your bullets kind of like fucking like pierce into Eliza's like dead, shrunken body, and she kind of shakes, but no blood comes out or anything like that.
I now have a phobia of these things, so I shove Floyd out of the way to the ground if I need to, and run back for the rover.
So he does that, and Floyd, you actually get a look of one of these things as it flies through the window, and you need to make a fear save whenever you see it.
Oh boy, here we go. Critical failure.
All right, so you need to make a panic check, and this is at disadvantage.
I failed.
All right, so let me roll your panic effect, and you said you have
19 stress.
19 stress. All right.
Whoa,
So
when did that happen?
Let's
I
see.
critically failed another panic check before, I think, or a stress check.
I can't find my other D10. Oh, there it is.
Come on.
Oh no.
I don't like the look on your face.
So describe how you meet your demise.
Okay, so Sonny pushes me down as I'm starting to get to my feet. I see the thing just crawling through the open window. And Floyd has watched a lot of horror movies in his time, but he was not prepared. And he just clutches his chest and dies.
All right. So I'm going to message you on Discord, Eric. What's your name on Discord? Which one are you?
Absurd entropy.
Okay, I'm gonna message you on Discord. Give me a second. All right. So
maybe I let out a little "fuck you, Sonny," before I died.
We called the rat for a reason.
All right. So I shot you a message real quick, and so you watch as he fucking like clutches his chest and falls to his knees, and you're running, and you're running for the rover or the door, right?
Yeah.
So which one is it? Which one are you doing?
Do I think realistically I could just drive through the door?
You would think that the rover might sustain some damage, and might even break a windscreen or something like that. But
how many doors were between me and the actual vehicle hangar?
hold on, just 1 second.
Sure.
All right. So, my bad. What are you doing again, Sonny?
So I'm running for the hangar, and I think on the way I'm going to try and hack some of the doors I'm running through to just not open. So like mechanically forcing them to
like ripping
to just...
yeah, I got you. So yeah, you're doing that. let's actually do a speed roll to
Cool.
see whether or not you make it there before the mosquitoes get to you.
Oof. Would military training be relevant at all right now?
For the speed,
Yeah.
I'll say go ahead.
All right, then I make it.
All right. So you make it to you're gonna drive through the bay door.
No, so I was going to try and basically just stop every door from opening behind me, get there, and then try and get the door open, so I could drive through without completely screwing up Stacy.
Okay, so you make it to the bay, and you make it to the door. Do you or wait? Actually, I'm sorry. I have to message Eric one more time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Secrets.
So he'll come back as a lich.
I'm just the empty Capri Sun zombie.
All right. So, do you have anything that relates to mechanical repair or anything like that?
I have the skill mechanical repair.
All right. So, I'm going to say that you're going to be able to do it, right? But in order to do it quickly, you're going to have to be able to succeed in the mechanical repair roll.
Okay, cool. Using what base stat?
Intelligence.
Not great, but nope.
All right. So you're attempting to, and I guess I don't know, what would you say the mechanism for getting the door open and a power failure? Like what is the method of getting it open?
So this is actually an exterior door. Like it's a protection between space. So I assume it's actually not designed to be opened by hand. And even with all the power out, it would require me jury rigging something that has a motor in it to get it to pull up. So it would involve actually like tearing open the floor to get to some little engine and hooking a battery up to it or something like that.
All right. So as you're doing that, you're struggling. You can hear the noise of it getting ready to open, and it's starting to kind of crack open. And just as it cracks open, you hear the buzzing sound, and you hear doom, 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 and you look back, and your light shines onto the door, the porthole, and you can see that the glass is cracking. So I'm going to need you to make another fear save as the glass is cracking from these mosquito things trying to get in.
Nope.
All right, so you're going to take, holy shit, 9 stress. And you need to make a panic check.
Now I roll 2d10.
Yep, and you're trying to get...
It's an automatic fail.
All right. Well, how much stress do you have?
22.
22? All right, so let me roll your panic effect. Oh, shit. All right.
Y'all on the other ship chose wisely.
So, tell me how you die of heart attack.
Oh, of heart attack specifically. Okay.
It can be anything, man. You can do it. You can do it. How do you die?
Because I'm imagining that the rat actually seeing this thing starting to come through the space starts fumbling for a frag grenade, and as he goes to pull one, pulls the pins on basically nearly all of them.
All right.
And yeah, just destroys any chance of anyone using the rover or this space ever again.
All right, and you blow a hole in the rear of the thing. Now, Captain Elric is outside of the ship, still alive.
That's me, guys.
And you hear this explosion, and you can see you can see it blow out the back, right? And there's I guess there wouldn't. There's no smoke in a situation like that, right? Like, but it does.
There's no oxygen, I guess.
So it does, but it does decompress, and you can see as your comrade, the rat, gets sucked out onto this planet, and you see like various other like random shit, and then the mosquitoes get sucked out as well. So Captain Elric is outside, and I'm sorry, Brendan, but I don't have anybody for you to play, right? Like, so I didn't anticipate that there was going to be 2 heart attacks in such a short amount of time. And again, dude, we're right at like the same time that the last one ended. Like, I thought that like not giving you guys stress to start off was going to make it so that you guys made it like the whole 3 hours or whatever.
Don't underestimate my ability to crash this car.
So, we'll go back to Malicha. I keep getting it Malichi, and I keep saying it different every time.
That's right.
Let me grab another beer to make sure I can say it right the next time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I thought we would be gaining like. I don't know how the rules work. There's no real guideline for how much stress you get, right? It's like 1 or more.
The rulebook says 1, but then the developers have like their errata where they're thinking more like 1d10 or one shots.
I see.
Yeah, for a one shot, it works pretty well. Like, I think from what they were saying was generally it's mostly been play tested with whatchamacallit, cons and stuff. So they generally don't want it to go longer than an hour, really, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm running it for my home game, right? So I'll be running it tomorrow I maybe I should stick to 1 stress.
Then you get like a really slow, like when you watch Aliens or something, it's like the first hour and a half, it's like this slow build of dread.
I kind of feel like you could also do like when you actually do the panic check and you fail, rather than being a moment, that could easily be played out to like several scenes or till the end of the actual session.
Yeah, for a long-term game.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Malachi and Rent is prone, and the flesh scorpion is upon him.
She sees the explosion. She sees the explosion. She's like, Rent, I got an idea. Open that oxygen. And point it away from you.
If I can, yeah, I'm gonna try and open the nozzle, let the oxygen start spraying out from my back.
I guess would it be cold or something like that? Like, what are you intending on?
Malachi pulls out her flare gun and
highly flammable oxygen.
And she kind of bites the lower lip, and she kind of aims, and she's firing just to get in the vicinity of the oxygen to basically give him a flamethrower.
All right, so let's make a combat check.
All right, her worst skill. All right, nope. 59 out of 30.
So the flare gun goes wide. This air is being released, and the scorpion, like I said, I'm going to say the scorpion has initiative because you're prone, and you went ahead and took an action. So the scorpion is going to try to attack you, Rent. And critical success on the first attack. He gets 2 attacks, and that was with the pincers.
Shit.
So on the first one, you take 2 damage.
Oh.
Let's just double that since it was a crit. So we'll say 4 damage.
Okay.
And then on the second attack with the stinger, is a success as well. And you can, I'm sorry, you can make an armor save to half these damages, by the way.
All right. Oh yeah, no, I took the full amount on the first one, and on the second one. How much did the tail do?
The tail does 3d10. So 8, 12, 22 damage.
Woo! All right.
And then you need to you can, and I don't know, would an android be able to feel would the sensors detect like something like liquid being pumped into your like orifice, like the orifice that it just made?
Probably.
And
Like,
you can feel like you can feel like this like liquid being pumped from the stinger into you. But it's not affecting you because you're an android. And
I think that's a bonus.
you need to, and then you take 9 stress as well, and you need to make a panic check.
Wow, this could go very bad. I need to roll 2 10s. I have 20 stress. I am panicking, sir.
All right, let me roll your panic effect. How much stress do you have?
I have 20.
20. All right. So your circuits start to short out. So describe how you become immobile. It might be related to the fluid that's being pumped into the.
That's what I was just going to go with. So yeah, he definitely ruptured some of the, tubules that pump whatever fluid that helps the android's body continue moving. And that fluid has like been replaced with a lot of this stuff, and it starts sizzling out. And from a distance, it looks like he's basically having a seizure as like different motor functions are twitching and starting to go off at random, arms wildly flailing around, legs starting to twitch and kick, head kind of just over down, quite horrifying. The random spasms of the vocal unit.
Where are you at, Malachi, with stress?
You're muted.
Yep.
14.
All right. So, in order to try to get some somebody out of here, we'll forego the stress that you should take, right?
Okay.
But you're gonna still make a panic check.
Okay.
Oh, also, definitely would probably let go of that O2 tank, which means it's gonna go off somewhere.
Yeah, it flies into the air and like swirls around.
That was very strange. The die jumped like 3 inches up and gave me a 90, a 2d10, so 9 plus 5, 14.
14. So so you are panicking, sir. And I will roll you.
And it says once per session, a Teamster can re-roll a panic effect.
Okay, so I'll tell you your effect, and you got a psychological collapse, right? So I imagine, but you have to take the next one, right? You got a 29, which is a psychological collapse.
Okay.
30 is a heart attack. Just saying.
Yeah, I'll re-roll that.
Ooh.
All right.
Gamble. Let's go lower. Let's go lower.
Gamble.
Come on. Snake eyes.
Okay.
Heart attack?
No. You got a 12 plus the 14.
Oh shit. Oh, it's a 1 hour.
11 plus the 14, right?
Okay.
So that's 25, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So for the next
Oh no.
for the next few days, so you're just like you're broken now. So for the next 5 days, whenever another crew member makes fails a save, you also gain stress, but you don't fucking have a crew anymore.
I don't care.
So I imagine that you run towards the ship, right?
Yeah, she would. Let's see. So that oxygen tank is it like just gone, or is it near the monster?
I mean, it's letting loose, right? Like it's not viable anymore.
She would have taken a blind shot with her flare gun as she runs away at full speed.
All right, so the flare goes like wide or whatever, and you get a notice from your suit that says you have 30 minutes remaining, and Elric, you get a message at that point too saying you have 30 minutes remaining.
And I just saw Sonny fly out the cabin, and probably Floyd too. I don't know, but and all these things.
Yeah, so you're starting to like really like you were already pretty down about the whole situation. You were never really too confident that anything was going to happen that was very positive.
Right. I'm just going to start running as fast as I can, following the rover tracks. I mean, I know the rover's docked currently, but I'm just going to see like where it went originally and just try and escape these bugs.
So you do that, and you after a few minutes, you find Malachi, and she's running towards the ship. You're running away from the ship.
Do I see the scorpion?
I don't think that it made chase.
Oh. I say, you can't go that way. I'm the captain now, by the way. Turn around. And I just like, run past her.
She's like, okay, just as long as you're running first, there's a big thing that's trying to eat me in that direction.
By the way, are the bugs following me? Would I have noticed? Do I hear the buzzing?
No, you don't hear any of the buzzing.
Okay, so after Malachi says that,
and we don't see anything nearby, like mountains or like you said they were trying to build a base. Are there any buildings any tents that were set up?
So, like off in the distance, there is these mountains that look like a pyramid or something. It's like strange. It doesn't look natural.
And that's definitely not within running distance, right?
No, that's rover distance for sure.
Yeah. Fuck.
I say, well, what's in the other direction?
It's just a scorpion that ate Rent. You know, whatever.
Okay, well, on our ship there are giant bees that suck out your blood. And also there's a giant hole in our ship now. And
it's okay. Well,
and everyone's dead.
The other ship is working except the power is out. So maybe I can try to jury rig something to jump start it. Let's go back to the new ship. And she pulls out her let's see.
By the way, do I have any equipment as the captain? Or am I just like in my suit?
Yeah, I imagine you would just be in the vac suit because
I was just trying to run.
Like repair equipment, like maybe a welding torch or something like that. Like,
okay,
I could hand you something too.
So I just want to remind you that you do remember that you need the battery from the other ship. Like you know that for sure. Like you're not going to be able to like you could probably get the battery in the other ship with the knowledge that you have, but you're not.
Right, but she can't MacGyver something out of nothing. So
yeah.
Okay, so she's like, no, we got to go back to the ship. We just got to grab the battery, and then we can make the other ship work. So let's grab the battery.
And I think are you guys going to check to see if the rover is okay or anything like that?
Yeah, she's like a machine. Like where is the rover? Is it?
It's in outside? The ship. No,
yeah.
It's in the ship. Yeah, so she'll approach the ship. She's got her flare gun up, and she's kind of you know, and like a flashlight, and she's getting ready to go in there.
Elric will follow at a distance, sort of keeping an eye over his shoulder for any giant scorpion thing that was described to him.
She's like, "Thanks, Captain, for being so brave and captain-y," she says as she walks through the breach. And she inspects the rover.
All right, so you can see that there is some damage to the rover.
She's got mechanical repair, scavenging, jury rigging, heavy machinery.
Yeah, mechanical repair roll with intelligence to see whether or not you can get the. And I don't know. Would you guys call this a crisis? Is this a crisis?
I feel like I'm in crisis.
All right. So we will say with if the scientist is assisting, that the captain is assisting, that you can get advantage on these rolls. But it is a crisis 3, so you have to get 3 successful rolls, or you take 3 stress and make it random roll.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Elric, he'll help after you insulted his masculinity.
So I need 3 successes.
3 successes at advantage, but 3 successes.
Wow, that's okay. Here we go. She's like, "Hand me the spanner. Give me that can of oil." No. First one was a bust. Let's try that again. Oh no, the first one was 40 plus. Yep, that was a bust. Let's do it again. And she fails by 1 point on the first one.
All right, so you're having trouble, and it seems like like I don't know, maybe the stress that you've taken or something like that is. Or wait, did you roll the second for the advantage?
Yeah, I did.
And they were both a fail.
Yep.
All
they were
right.
both over 50.
So, I'll say that you'll be able to do it given an infinite amount of time, right? Like if you were left
Sure.
left unbothered, you'd be able to do it. But at this moment, you're not. You're having trouble and you're struggling, and you hear from outside of the bay like a. Whirr.
That's the scorpion, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So does she know like what type of battery we need from the ship? Like I can't just take one from the rover, right?
No, it has to be the ship's battery, and it's a big fucking like power core, so it's not like a small module or anything like that.
And there's not like a second rover or anything else.
Mm-mm.
She's like this way, and then she
before we leave the bay, are there any sort of weaponry in here? Just anything, equipment?
No, unless I imagine that the only person who would have a weapon anyway is the Marine, and access to weapons. Like he might have one in his footlocker or something like that. But
she hands you a rigging gun. And are there any like tanks of oxygen or anything explosive here?
Yeah, there's definitely more vac suits, like extras even.
Okay. So she swaps out her oxygen for a fresh one, and she takes the old one and tries to jury rig it with her flare gun to
like make a bomb.
Yeah, basically. And she wants to make a bomb, and whatever. There's only one entrance, right? So
yeah,
whatever is coming after us. Wait. Is the creature outside or inside?
Yeah, you just heard it from the outside.
Yeah, so she's prepping the bomb near the entrance with a little shoestring or something to pull the trigger so she can remote detonate it.
All right. So roll your jury rigging. Let's see if you.
Okay, here we go. Oh, this time was great. 17 out of 55.
All right. So, you see first again the pincers like enter the breach, and are you just like readying an action basically to throw the bomb at the thing as soon as it comes through, or are you?
Or she had it like near the entrance, and she had like
a
cord.
tripwire. Okay.
Yeah, and she just kind of pulled,
Right.
tugged it. And...
So this is something that I ran into whenever in my home game. They have the damage listed as 1d10 for a frag grenade, right? And I think that's shit, right?
I think it's 1d10, but it's 1d10 times 10. I think.
That would make more sense.
It doesn't say that it's mega damage though. It says either 1d10 damage or 1 mega damage to ships, right? So, but I think that's shit, right? So let's do 8d10 because the SMG does 4d10. So let's do 8d10 for the.
Yeah,
for the
that
damage.
makes a lot more sense. Okay. What do I do? So I roll 8d10.
Yeah. So you jury rig this trap, and this thing like trips this wire, and the breach gets even larger as it explodes. And we'll see how much damage.
36 plus 7, so 43.
All right, dope. So you see it like the flames kind of like touch its like skin, and it kind of like burns it and stuff like that. And then the pincers retract, and you don't see or hear the thing anymore.
You got it.
But you don't see the corpse or anything like that. So it definitely took off.
She's like, it's gonna be back, so we better hurry. So she's
Elric, by the way,
she's like, thanks for your leadership, Captain, and she kind of like pats him on the shoulder, like, good job delegating.
He nods. I'll be sure to get you a raise.
And she's like, yeah, let's go. Let's get the damn battery and get out of here. And so we head towards wherever the battery she knows would be.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you going to? So you get to the battery again. This is a huge thing. So it's like you can get it loaded on onto the rover, and I would even say that you probably had enough time to get it repaired now that the scorpion thing is gone.
Okay.
We haven't heard any buzzing, correct? Or
no.
Okay.
I think they must have got like pulled out of the ship whenever they explosively decompressed, and you have no idea where they're at.
Right.
So you don't know how many survived in that or whatever. So you do that. Do you load? So you load it the battery onto the rover. The rover. You start up the life support, and just as you do, it says you have 1 hour and 30 minutes of life support remaining.
Do you have driving, Captain?
I'm not the pilot.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess I'll operate this heavy machinery. And she jumps in the driver's seat, and you notice that the rover has been repaired. We used a cargo box as one of the wheels now, so it's all super clunky and janky.
Great.
All right. So you guys
Is there like a dead body of the Marine somewhere?
It got pulled out of the ship.
Right.
So the hole that is open in the breach is big enough for the rover to get out, and you pull out. And I think, guys, since half the party is dead, I think this is probably a good time to wrap it up. Right? Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah.
So you make your way back to the other ship. You repair it. Get the battery. You get it turned on. What are you gonna say, Joseph?
As they go driving by where the just completely ripped into pieces body of Rint is, over the comm channel, as they get in range, they hear this. It was just ground this morning. It was just ground this morning. Ground this morning. It was just ground this morning.
You get the rover loaded on. The power comes on. Everything seems to be working properly. The only problem is that the airlock cargo there's a hole in the glass, so you're not going to be able to open the cargo bay without decompressing the whole ship, or at least the first module of the ship, right? Well, describe to me your guys' exodus from the planet, and then I'll finish up.
I'm thinking while we're driving by our poor android Rent, the captain, Elric, is just going to get out real quick and try and scoop up wherever the memory module is.
Yeah, so you exit the airlock and you get the memory module.
Yeah, just in case we need it for any sort of navigation, if their stuff is really 30 years old, and then we'll...
Yep. So there's actually, you said like a hole in the window or hole in the...
Yeah, and in the door to the cargo bay.
So just spitballing the story here, like maybe they can't get off planet, right? So the ship flies, but like you can't take something that would leak atmosphere into space. So as
long as you don't open the cargo, it's not. As long as you don't open the cargo bay, it's fine.
Oh, it'll make do.
So your airlock is not functional anymore, basically.
Okay.
Like you're not going to be able to do any spacewalks or anything like that. Like all of that is pretty much off the table.
Right. Then as we're leaving atmosphere, we look at the fuel tanks.
Yeah. Well, I guess we would.
So you look at the fuel tanks. It seems like, and all systems are go. You can tell that you're in an unmapped. So like you guys take off. You're barely.
I would just survey the pyramid. That's the only thing. Yeah.
So you go over the pyramid and you see all these. So like as you're like leaving the atmosphere, you see all these like pyramids, and you see the rover from that you assume is from the NK-15 down next to one of the pyramids. And it looks like there is like a huge, massive statue kind of turned over on its side and half buried. I know you can only see half of its face. Like as you're leaving, you see if there was like a camera, if there was like a movie or something like that, like it shows you guys like in the bridge, and then it pans like through the ship, and like kind of zooms back into the cargo bay, like in one of the tucked in one of the corners, you see this cocoon type thing, like this fleshy, like see-through cocoon, and inside of it are like wriggling like larvae. And then it flashes back to the front, and then you guys prepare for cryo, and then get everything calibrated to head back to our solar system. And you're barely able to do this. This is beyond your scope of things that you're like really able to do, but you've had enough training to wherever you are back up just in case anybody dies or anything like that. And you get into the cryo chamber and prepare for the jump. And just as you prepare for the jump, the camera zooms back to that like throbbing, pulsating cocoon, and a like mosquito, fleshy mosquito pops out of the top of the cocoon and like flaps its wings for the first time. And you guys jump into hyperspace.
It was just ground this morning.
The next morning, as she's making coffee in her skivvies again, she sets the coffee to course, and then there's like this small look of amusement on her face, or regret for the death of the android, and then she sees a creature scuttle in.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast. You guys can stick around and we can debrief. I always find that to be fun. So, everybody who watches or watched, you guys have a great night.